I also showed you another challenge last week that I had. I said, okay, what if instead of showing this hello message, which it does show because this cout is designed to display character strings as soon as it sees the address of a character. But for me to perhaps to show the location in memory, I could do something brute force, like ugly things such as this. Convert the address that hello returns. Hello returns an address. It returns a number, right? So I want to actually masquerade this address of a character as an integer, and it's pretty ugly, but I want to try to display, instead of hello, want to be able to display the the actual number that corresponds to my memory when the program runs. This is probably not something you want to do every day in your programming. Let me first compile it, right? Because I need to be able to compile it first. Say build, and if I run it again, click this button. Here it is, right? So that ugly address, big number. This is a decimal number because integers by default are displayed as integer numbers. So instead of showing character H and then character E and L and L and O and stopping, instead I'm showing this address. So now my challenge is, how can I work with these addresses? So if this integer, so let's do it this way. Let's just do it for a second slightly different way. We'll just declare an integer variable address, or I don't know, offset in memory. And we'll say it equals this integer hello. Now remember what happens with hello. Hello is stored somewhere in constant global memory, immutable, just a sequence of bytes, but they cannot be modified, right? So here I will create an offset, and for me to be able to access to characters, what I can do is that I can say memory, all right, and specify an offset from that memory. Basically, C and C++ uses this, what we call subscript notation, in order to access computer memory. So you specify memory, and the question is, what is memory? We can simply say that, how about we make memory 0? So it's basically, we can say, look, just go to this location, right? Go to location 0, and then compute offset. We know that the big ugly number from offset 0 should give us offset from address 0 to the actual position. And if we do something like that, we should be able to retrieve our character H from memory. So that should work. However, if I try to build this, the compiler complains that you've given me a base address in memory, which is 0, which is kind of trivial. Then you provided the offset relative to that memory. But you know what? I have absolutely no clue what type of data you want me to retrieve from memory. Because remember, computer understands integers as being 4-byte size. Characters are being 1 byte in size in C and C++. Double values, which are relational numbers, would be 8-byte size objects in memory. So so we're not done yet with these square bracket notation type of access to memory. What we also need to specify, this is a character. But unfortunately, the character, just explaining that this offset is an offset of a character is still yet not enough, because this type of syntax was chosen to convert numbers to characters. This is C-style cast to a character data type. So the real thing that we need to do is actually add an asterisk. Anytime you see a type with an asterisk next to it, you should pronounce it and understand it as pointer to character. What we do now is this. So basically, the asterisk is pronounced as pointer, and character is pronounced, well, as character. So pointer to character is very similar to an address of a character, but the significance of pointer to character is that it's actually a data type. Basically, we say, look, we have a number which we would like to use as address in memory, and this is not just any type of address in memory. It's actually the address of a character and not any other data type. Okay, so this is, if you look at this program, you might say, that really doesn't look very good. It's very difficult to memorize what's happening in here. So let me actually give you a version 2 of this program, right? And since we're recording, I'll just modify it in place. Number 1, this ugly work with integers that I do should go away, because I know that I'm trying to work with addresses. Okay, I'm not trying to work with integers. I chose an integer data type simply because I was hoping that if I convert an address to an integer, just a decimal value, that's what integer is, it would be able to, it would allow me to visualize my addresses. So let's just really just run this. Say build, right? Just say build, and then it builds fine. And if I run it, it has changed. Yes, whatever. Let me see what's going on here. It's window, the console window opens and disappears, so I'd like to actually stop it. So I will say include cstdlib and add the pause before I return, just so I can see what's going on. System pause. Okay, and try build it again. Okay, and just run. Okay, so it does print character H, and I will add new lines so that it doesn't get obscured by my pause when I run it. Right, so let me just build it again. Make sure that I build it, and after I build it and just hit this green button, here's my character H, and so I am demonstrating by this program that this kind of set of efforts on my side is capable of retrieving a character from memory. So the important part of the syntax is the square bracket, and then of course the fact that we need to specify the type. So we were forced to do something like this all the time. That would be quite inconvenient. So instead, I will rewrite this code as follows.